What is the best hidden potential for the new LR Beast Gohan? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We got another Dokkan Battle video for you here. Today we are taking a look at the new LR Teq Beast Gohan for the Transcendent Dokkan campaign and giving you our best suggestion for his best hidden potential. There's a couple different ways you can build him, but I think I've settled on one that might just work out the best to make the most of him. So let's kick things off by taking a look at his kit. He leads Movie Heroes or Connected Hope, category Key 3, HP 200%, and attack defense 170% with an additional HP attack defense 50% for full power, bottom master disciple, and earth protecting heroes. On his 18 key, he is raising attack defense by 58% for 1 turn, causing mega colossal damage, while on his 12 key, raising attack for 4 turns and causing colossal damage to the enemy. Basic effects include Key 7, attack defense 350%, damage reduction rate 58%, guards all attacks, and attack defense 58% and damage reduction rate 10% for allies whose name include Piccolo. All right, so it's a really great support for those Piccolo characters. Really makes me think we're probably getting a new Piccolo here very, very soon, but we do still have the LR Teq to help him out. When activating the active skill or when attacking with 18 or more key, he gets 350% attack, effective against all types, and launches an additional super attack. For every attack performed, he gets Key 2 up to 16. When receiving a normal attack, he counters with tremendous power for 3 turns. And from his entry turn. Starting from his 4th turn from his entry turn, he counters with ferocious power. Now, I want to talk about that real quick. So when we actually pull up the counterattack multipliers, right, to understand what we're dealing with here, his counterattacks on his first 3 turns hit a little weaker, right? They have a 300% multiplier for the tremendous power. So they're going to be in line with characters like Tech UI's counter, obviously attack stat dependent, but right, these characters here, right, Vegito Blue, and a few others. Now, for his secondary part of that passive, after the 4th turn, it jumps up to Ferocious Power. Now, Ferocious Power is a 400% multiplier, so it's going to be significantly stronger on that. And that honestly makes sense. Most of the characters on Beast Gohan's team, right, a lot of those superhero characters, that's when all of their active skills can activate. So makes sense that that's when he's going to get the most amount of his buffs. Speaking of active skills, active skill is the special beam cannon. It raises his attack by 580% temporarily, causes ultimate damage to the enemy, and gives him 100% extra defense for 1 turn. Gives all allies in the same turn the ability to survive KO attacks for 1 turn, once per character, but does not stack with other passive skills characters, right? So for example, someone like Kai Goku, if he was on the team with him, would not have double survive KO, for example. And that active skill can be activated starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. So lines up with that ferocious power, right? So you'll be able to use that active skill on turn 4, get that extra offense and defense, as well as be able to counter even stronger. Combine that with other characters like AGL Gohan and Gamma 2 and Piccolo, who have those bonuses, those support buffs on their actives on turns 4 and beyond. Obviously, he's going to benefit a lot from those. So, you'll notice he's got quite a few things going on in his kit, right? Since he is a counter character, we're probably going to be focused mostly on offense with this guy, right? So when we take a look at our hidden potential, right, he is a tech type, which means he's going to naturally lean into crit. 20 crit gets you 40% extra chance to do an additional critical hit. And that's exactly what you want to lean into with this guy. You want to lean into that crit. Give him the full 20 with a subset for additionals. And, well, you might be thinking, well, why is that, Celtic? why would you recommend crit? He has effective against all types. Well, it's important for understanding the actual damage, especially in an era where many bosses have much higher damage reduction than they used to. Effective against all types, as you can see here, according to the charts, only boosts a max of 1.5. It basically gives your character super effective, right? It is, and so the max you can get out of it is a 1.5 additional. Now, used to be that wasn't that big of a difference, that you could sacrifice, right, critical hit on characters and allow them to stack a little bit more. So but that's not the case anymore, right? With higher and higher damage reductions on these bosses, a lot of characters, effective against all types, just isn't enough anymore, because you also need to deal with what critical hit can provide, which is being able to ignore that damage reduction and enemy defense, to ignore that, to ignore all of that. So that's why I would recommend critical hit for him. You will see a significant jump in his damage if you give him the critical hit. As far as his, right, because critical hit is a 2 times multiplier rather than a 1.5, so it's a significantly greater boost in maximum damage. As far as his equipment goes, his basic equipment will be good enough, right? They both, his gold and his bronze are both defense orbs. If you want, you can switch them to offense orb to really boost the power of those super attacks and the critical hits, but the offense on the silver is more than enough that I think you could probably get away with just keeping the defense, because that'll just help him have a little more survivability against some of these harder hitting supers by having that extra defense. You could even swap your gold and your silver if you really wanted to, right? I do recommend that. You could also, right, if you had a crit and additional God equip, you could give that to him on one of them. And then if you had the gold God equip for defense and offense, you could give him that as well. The equips really going to play into your play style, to be completely honest, but the natural equips that he has via Seriously Serious Battles are going to be more than enough for him to do what he needs to do, which is provide that offense through his counters. Super attacks are still going to be hitting pretty hard, right? Anywhere between 80 to 118 mil, depending on the fight and the support that he's getting. So honestly, he does hit pretty hard. So as long as you're playing to that, he's going to do all right. You, especially with having both 58% damage reduction and guarding all attacks, he's going to do pretty good post super defensively. Not quite the slot 1 unit that you want to see out of him, but makes sense, right? The SDR was more the defensive powerhouse. Seems like this one is leaning into the offense. So looking at that, I would say that this is probably going to be the build that's going to benefit you the most with Beast Gohan. So, guys, that is it for our video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, let us know, how would you build your Beast Gohan? Again, my personal recommendation is critical hit to maximize his offense, but I understand that that's maybe not something that everybody would lean into, right? You could lean into dodge, but I think you're significantly handicapping what this guy is designed to do if you do that, although it would give him a little more survivability. Realistically, it is up to you at the end of the day for what works best for your playstyle. I'm just here to give you my recommendation based on my playstyle. So that's it for the video, guys. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button. And if nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.